You don't scatter my head, oh.
This is even the one.
Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ness Momo, and then my channel actually educates nurses that are willing to come to Ireland and any other person that's actually interested in coming to Ireland. Today, I have with me Nesdio. No need for her to introduce herself. Nesdio has actually practiced in UK for over 4 years. Finally, she moved to Australia and she's doing amazing. She's actually been a source of encouragement, pushing her sister Nesmomo to also do her best. Today, I'm really honored once again to have her on my channel. Oh, guys, she's so good. So please remember to follow both of us on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, and also on Instagram. Thank you, my dear, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so today's video is actually a popular request, okay, for most of my subscribers. Sekina, Nanaya, you guys are so amazing. They're like, can you just compare Australia and Ireland? Because they are currently nurses in Ireland as well. I was like, why not? Let me just call my sister and let's see how far we can take this video. So, guys, we are here to compare Ireland and Australia. So let's get started. So Nesio, I know that moving from Africa to, let's say, Australia or Ireland, you will need English proficiency test. But what about moving from, any of the European countries like Ireland to Australia? Would you need the English proficiency test? That's the IELTS or the OET?
So if you're moving from Ireland to Australia, when you are doing your registration, you don't need the English test.
Okay.
But if you're applying for a permanent residency visa, you have to do the English test.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you can still practice whilst you don't even have the English proficiency test?
That's if you're not on a permanent residency visa.
Oh, okay. I think for Ireland, I know when you're from Africa, yes, you need it. And then I think when you're actually schooled in any of the European countries, I know there's a waiver for that. But if you're an overseas nurse and they didn't really, get any training from the European countries, then you might be asked to bring your English proficiency test. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. So when it comes to the visa, when it comes to Ireland, for us, when you come here, you just have to work with the same employer for 2 years, okay, before you can now go on the stamp 4. Okay, it's all different types of residency permits. When it comes to Australia, how does it work?
It depends on the visa you're in.
Okay.
It depends on the visa you have. So if you have a work visa that is sponsored by an employer, you have to work for that employer for 2 years. And if you come on a permanent residency visa, you're not really obliged to come to work for one employer. You can work with any employer you like. And it also depends on the kind of residency you have. Because each permanent residency have a lot of visas. We have the one that is sponsored by employer. We have the one that is sponsored by a state. We have the one that is independent. So if you're independent, you can work with any employer. You can have 20 jobs as you want. But basically, it depends on your visa.
Okay, so you being a nurse, moving from UK to Australia, which visa are you on?
I'm currently on a permanent residency visa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, you have to provide English proficiency, or you don't?
Yes, I did, because I was applying for a permanent residency visa, not because I was transferring my license. I don't know if you understand. So if you want to practice as a nurse in Australia, because I'm coming from UK, I don't need to provide any English language tests. So just the fact that I've practiced in UK for a number of years, and before I practiced in UK, I did show my English proficiency. That was waived for me. But because I want to become a permanent resident, I had to write an English exam.
Wow. What are the requirements? Is it the same 777?
So it depends on the visa you're applying for, but the higher your score, the higher your chances of getting the points, because it's point based as well. But yeah, if you get 6 also, is fine. You just need to be fluent in it. And for the PTE is 65 you need. But majorly if you write the IELTS, it's like 666 basically. Or the higher your score, the higher your points as well.
Okay, so talking about permanent residency, I know in Ireland you have to be here for like 5 years, and then after the 5 years, okay, that's the 60 months, you can either choose to apply for a permanent residency, then you go, or the citizenship, okay? Some countries, they don't allow dual citizenship. So you have the option to only, be the citizen of your country. In that case, you have to apply for permanent residency. However, some people also apply for permanent residency. Then after that, they then apply for citizenship. So when it comes to Australia, I can see that you already have permanent residency whilst you just moved in. How does that work? And then when it comes to citizenship, how long do you have to wait?
So for Australia, you can become a permanent resident from your home country. Like that's what I did. I got my permanent residency before Australia.
Yeah.
So you can apply for permanent residency anytime. You don't have to be here for a number of time before you can apply. You can apply from your home. If you can apply immediately, you get here anytime at all. As long as you meet the requirements, they have a requirement you need to meet. So the number of years you've stayed here that's not a requirement for
Yeah.
most of the visas. Okay. And for citizenship, you need to have lived in Australia for 4 years. That's the requirement for citizenship in Australia. But
After
permanent
your
residency doesn't have any number of
so
years
after
you
your permanent residency, you should live in Australia for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So, guys, I know, and as you actually spoke about the IELTS or the OET, that you have to write it for your permanent residency. For Ireland, you don't need to write that. So, first, I able to stay here or live in Ireland for 5 years, then you are qualified to apply for it. Okay. So, how much did it take when it comes to the cost for applying for permanent residency and citizenship? Do you have an idea?
So for permanent resident, the visa itself is like 4,200 Australian dollar. I think citizenship is less than $400. Citizenship is quite cheap. It's like $400 or 500 about that. But the permanent residency visa is 4,200 Australian dollar about that.
Wow. Okay. So in Ireland, the application fee is like 175. Then after decision is made, if you're a minor, you pay 200. If widow, 200. Refugee is free. And then if any other person like myself, you have to pay 950 euros. Citizenship is what I just explained.
That's
So
very cheap.
yeah, that's like a little bit over 1,100 euros. For the permanent residency, after the application, you might be asked to pay like 500 euros.
So your
Because
citizenship is more expensive, but your PR is cheaper.
okay, when it comes to how much do you use yourself?
So my PR visa was like 4,200 Australian dollar.
That's expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When it comes to the permanent residency, and then you also win when it comes to the citizenship. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. But the fact that Australia, when you can just get your permanent residency when you arrive there, that's what is really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
is.
I actually liked about that. It's not like Ireland that you have to stay here for 5 years before you can apply. So I'm actually going to give that to you guys. Like it's really
So
cool.
after your 5 years, how long do you have to wait to get your citizenship?
So just as I explained, with Ireland, after your 5 years, you can go straight to citizenship, or you can apply for indefinite stay. That's a permanent stay. Yeah. So some people actually apply for permanent stay before they apply for citizenship. So the fact that Australia you can just apply for permanent stay, it's really like a plus.
Yes, it is.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it's citizenship for children in Ireland, you don't get straight citizenship when you give birth here. I think your child has to live here for like 3 or more years before you can now qualify for citizenship. And then, so your child might actually get citizenship before you. Okay. So I don't know for Australia, how is it like?
So if you are a permanent resident and you give birth, your child becomes a citizen automatically. So now, for me, let me give you an example. Now, if I get pregnant now and I give birth, my child automatically become an Australian citizen, can apply for passport immediately, blah blah blah. But me, I don't have passport. These children, they'll kill me. Yes.
I'm bringing mine back to Australia. I'm going to have my feet baby in Australia.
We have food, don't come.
When it comes to working hours, how many hours can you work in a week?
So it depends on your contracted hours, but majorly full-time hours here is 38 hours a week.
Okay, 38 hours. And when it comes to overtime, is there any restriction?
If you're a PR holder, there's no restriction. I think for work visa as well, as long as it's the same employer, I don't think there's any restriction, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But you have
So
to
your
be
contract does not bound you to any restriction or anything?
No.
Okay.
I have
So, okay, that's cool. So Ireland is also the same. I think that's 7.5, but it also depends on your hospital, and then there is no restriction when it comes to extra, overtime. So that's very good. Just that with your work permit, the first 2 years with Ireland, you have to be with the same employer, okay, for 2 years. Then after the 2 years, you get your stamp 4, and then you can now work with any other employer at all. So with you, Nesdio, you can work with any other employer, right?
Yeah, you can work with any employer once you have your PR.
Okay. Let's talk about salary. Okay. So in Ireland, you are being paid based on your experience. Okay. How much is the average salary for Australia?
So with Australia as well, you are being paid with your experience, the number of years you've worked as a nurse, regardless of where you're coming from, will be considered in Australia. And it also depends on the state. So there's no particular amount you get in Australia as a nurse. Every state has different pay rates, and it depends if you work in private, if you work in government, and all. But basically, I think minimum start I've seen for a newly qualified, a year one nurse, like newly out of listen, is like 40 Australian dollar per hour. But like I said, it depends on loads of factors. It can be more, can be a little bit less as well, but it should be averagely 40 Australian dollar per hour. And
Okay,
then
so
it
like
depends on your
annually.
shift pattern. So that's like a base rate. That's like
Okay.
AM rate, like morning rate. So when you work evening shift is more, when you work night shift is more,
Mm.
and when you work Saturday is more, when you work Sunday is more.
That's your premiums. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get penalty. They
So
call it penalties here.
oh, okay, okay. So in Ireland, like the basic ones will be like annually it will be like over 32,000, euros. And then we also have premiums. We have when you work Sundays, usually it's like times two, and then bank holidays for my hospital like this is times two and a half,
Mhm.
Or but most hospitals just give times two as well. And then night we have night premiums as well, which is equally just like Australia. I'm not too sure about the annual rate, so I can't really compare how much is like an annual rate for a startup
Annual
average.
rate, like they've put in a visa rule that if you want to sponsor anyone, you cannot get less than 70 Australian dollar per year. You need
Okay,
to be able to pay that skilled worker is 70,000 per year. So but most nurses earn more than that, like for start anyway. So let me just leave it at 70,000. But most nurses, graduate nurses, they earn up to like if you starting salary like 74 or that, but let's leave it at 70 just in case any other place pay less.
okay. 20,000 Australian dollar per year.
Yeah, that's the minimum you get.
Wow, that's good. So you guys win on that. Okay, so as a nurse, what are some of the benefits you get?
Ah, how do I start? Most benefits are same with most citizens, most PR holders. So the benefit depends on your visa, the visa you hold. Anyway, it's not just because you're us, to be fair. So we here in Australia, we do have the Medicare. If you're a permanent resident holder, you have access to subsidized healthcare or free healthcare depending on your situation. Where we have access to our children can go to school for free up to uni level,
Yeah,
and when you get to uni level, there's loads of scholarship. As a nurse, your hospital can sponsor you to get your master's, your BSc, and all that for free per se. And even the state also has loads of scholarship opportunities. So it's not just your hospital, so you're not even tied down to them if they sponsor you, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
I've talked about the penalty rates. We have generous penalty rate. Like if you do morning shift, you get the base rate. If you do afternoon shift, you get like 12.5% of your salary every hour.
yeah,
And if you work evening shifts or night shift, I think it's about 25%. But it depends on the hospital and it depends on the facility. And we also have what we call salary packaging here in Australia, where you get tax-free bonuses before you are being taxed. So most employers will give you anything from 9,000 up until, I think the highest I've seen is actually like 18,000. So those, that money from your salary is tax free on top of what the government gives you. So usually the government, if you earn usually most tax brackets here, if you are a good earner, you'll be like 32 or 18% or 32%, between that range. And whatever you get off, your employer will still get like 9,000 to 18,000 per annum tax free for you. So you find out that you get more money take home from your salary. We also have the novated lease here, where your employer can easily package a car for you without you being taxed. So you get the money, you get the car before you pay your salary. No, you get the car before you are being taxed. So that helps you save
okay.
more. So just like the money for your car is being taken out before you are taxed. You know, so your
Okay.
tax is a very, very little because of that package. I don't think it's only for nurses. I think most employers in Australia do it. What else? We also have the what's it called? Entertainment card. I've forgotten the exact name, but it's a card where they put. So for me, let me be exact. Mine it's 2,500 Australian dollar. So that money that is in there is for me to go out with my family, shop, eat in restaurant.
Wow.
That money is tax free. So it's taken already from your salary, but it was taken before you were taxed. So I don't know if you understand. So it means your tax is very
It's more, yeah,
minute. That is very
yeah.
small. So you find out that you get more money or more value for your money. What else? It depends on your employer. Some employers, if you come in as a nurse, you get like accommodation, 3 months free, 6 months free, especially if you go to the rural areas in Australia. And yeah, basically flights being paid for, relocation package, they give you money when you relocate. And even when you are here in Australia, like if I decide to relocate to another state, the employer will pay me a bonus. Some of them pay up to 20,000 Australian dollar for just moving to another city. And when you move there, they provide accommodation. So there are actually a lot of benefits here, to be honest, as long as you are willing to take them.
You don't scatter my head, oh.
This is even the one I remember. And maybe another, this one is everybody, not just for nurses, anyways. Like, and those are the benefits for being a nurse in Australia. And every year, automatically your salary increases. Okay, so you don't even need to apply for. Although there's a peak you reach and your salary will not go up anymore. But from your, like for New South Wales where I'm working, from 1 to 8 years, your salary will increase every year. So you don't even need to apply for a new role. And the money is you feel the difference. It's not like it's minute 0.01, or you feel the difference between each year's salary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something that is good as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right now, I feel like I think I have to,
Ah,
move to Australia. If I'm arguing with other countries, you come and see me. Yappy, yappy, yappy. Now I don't know what to even say again.
ah. Oh no,
Okay.
Australia has good benefit. I won't lie, very good benefit.
It's good though. Okay, my people, I can't disappoint you now. Let's go to Ireland.
Oh yeah,
So I know, just like Australia and Ireland, you are being paid based on your experience. Yeah, I'll still add it to it. And then you're actually going to get a stamp 4 after 2 years, where you can do mortgage. Actually, can we do mortgage before even your stamp 4? A lot of friends have actually done it. So after your stamp 4, you get to work with one or more employers, which is equally very good. Then after 60 months, you can also get your citizenship or your permanent stay, which is after 5 years. Okay. And then you also get child benefits. If you have, let's say, 5 children, every child gets €140 free. And then we also have maternity benefits, paternity benefits, a lot of benefits, social welfare benefits, okay, from the government. In an event where you something happens and you then drop out of work, you can apply for job seekers allowance and all benefits as well, which also supports you at home as well. We have, in case of anything and you have to care for any of your relatives at home, you can also apply for carers benefits as well. So a lot of benefits. So far as you're actually paying for your social contributions, we call it the PRSI contribution. Yes. And also when it comes to, this one don't scatter my head. I don't know what he will say
I
again.
didn't even mention all these things I mentioned. All the things you just said, we have it in Australia too, but I didn't
Okay,
mention
Australia
all
one.
the child benefit, maternity leave, every gbogbo we
How
have it.
much you guys get for child benefits?
I'm not sure because I don't have a child yet,
Well, you
but
don't have a child
know
yet.
you have.
Okay.
We definitely have child benefit. It's there's a center link. That's what they call them. You just apply and get it. And also the child and disability. If you are taking care of anybody,
Yeah.
like anybody in your family is sick,
Yeah.
they pay you only minimum wage, and minimum wage in Australia is like $23 per hour. So when you're at work, at home taking care of your sick one,
Oh,
they will pay you
yeah.
minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I'm not going to argue again. No. I think you just won on that.
yeah,
Okay. When you also have the Irish citizenship, you can travel to over 150 countries as well in Europe, which is also really cool. Really, really
yeah.
cool. I don't know about Australia, but that I
Australia
think
is
I know.
183 countries you can travel to visa free when you have Australian passport.
Australia can actually meet Ireland boot to boot. It's okay. Let me just end it.
And to be honest, no, honestly, and it's the same with the UK. Like most of the benefits in Australia, it's in UK as well. So
Okay.
it's actually good. It's very
Okay.
good.
Let's talk. I know you mentioned a bit of childcare or healthcare. Okay. When it comes to healthcare in Ireland, the children in Ireland, healthcare is not free. Okay. But kids from 1 0 to I think 8, they get free GP visits. Okay. So, and some medical, payment, medical labs, and all of that. And then when we have maternity, healthcare is also free as well in Ireland. When it comes to adults for that, you have to pay. Okay. It also called something means test. So if you are earning less than some amount, you might qualify for a medical card, which actually gives you free healthcare benefits. Okay. And then if you have a bigger family, you can also apply for the drug scheme, which gives you a specific amount that you can actually pay each month. Okay, as a family. When it comes to Australia, how is it?
So when it gets to Australia, if you're a permanent resident or a citizen, we have what we call the Medicare, which is
Okay.
like free healthcare per se,
Okay.
and you get to visit a GP for free. You go to hospital, and it depends on the GP. Like the Australian system is like private and it's government funded. It's both ways. It
Okay.
works both ways. So if you have we have this Medicare card. So if you have that Medicare card, which means you're a permanent resident or you're a citizen, you can go to a GP that bulk bill. So we call it
Okay.
bulk billing, and those people, they will treat you for free. You see a doctor for free, get medications. I don't know for medication, but yeah, medications as well for free. The only thing I know that is not free when you are a permanent resident is ambulance, and
Okay.
you have to pay for your ambulance. That's the only thing I know that is not. And of course dental, which I think is the same in most countries do not
Yeah.
cover dental. But yeah, if you have ambulance, like most of my friends, they do have ambulance cover, and I think they only pay like $40 per month or so. I forgotten, but it's not. When I checked, it was like very
It's
cheap,
not
and I was like, that's not
expensive.
even a lot. Yeah. So I think a year. There's someone that said because she works in the hospital, they subsidize the ambulance fee for. I think she pays like 100 and something for ambulance for a year. 100 and something
Okay.
dollars for a year. So that's not too much. But your ambulance is not free in Australia. But I heard, I'm not sure. I heard that in some states it's actually free. Like
Yeah.
Queensland, they said it's free because there was a time
Okay.
I made a video like that on my channel, and some people in Queensland was like, no, Dio, in Queensland it's actually free. Ambulance is free. I think
Yeah.
it's even Tasmania, but I'm very sure that here in New South Wales is not free. So it depends on the state you go. But you're going to, like, if you give birth, if you're pregnant, if you give birth and you're a permanent resident, it's free. Like those
Okay.
basic things are all free,
Like you're
except you
not
decide to
permanent
go
residents.
private. Except you
Okay.
decide to go to private hospital, then you have to pay. Yeah, if you're
Okay.
not a permanent resident, you're not a citizen, you are not entitled to Medicare.
To Medicare.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I think Australia still gets it on that as
Yeah,
well.
because it's
Yeah.
you can literally apply for the PR, so it's not especially for nurses. I don't know, most
Yeah.
professions can easily apply for PR, even a welder, tailor. That's
Oh,
how
then
much it's
that's good.
so
Good.
yeah, it's not too bad as long as you qualify for PR, you'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about education. Okay.
Mhm.
So in Ireland, education when it comes to primary, I think secondary, they are all free. I think with the tertiary, I think for citizens, you have like a quota, like a waiver of it, which is very affordable for the citizens. If you are international students, you have to pay. When it comes to, and then the government also gives a lot of subsidy as well, and a lot of back to school payments, and a lot of payment from the government just to help parents. When it
Mhm.
comes to Australia, how is the education system?
Okay, so first of all, I will put it out here that I don't have any child, so I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure, but this is what my friends told me and what I've read
Yeah.
online.
Okay.
So, school is, if you're a permanent resident, school is free for your children, okay,
Yeah.
from any level up till university. When you get to university level, you can apply for so many scholarships that are available, and those scholarships, many of them are available to citizens, which is very easy to get as long as I know, especially for some specific courses like healthcare courses. The scholarship is there, you can apply as long as you meet the requirement, you get it. But from your from kindergarten up till secondary school is free for all citizens and permanent residents, okay. But for university it's not totally free, but like I said, if you there are some states you will school, you get all your scholarship, or otherwise you get this what we call help fee, where you can take loan and then get your education. When you start earning a particular amount after graduation, you start paying your loan back easily. Or you can get Commonwealth scholarship, where you only pay student fee, which is like $300 per semester or per year, which is very cheap and all that. But if you're not, you pay the whole fee. International fees are quite expensive as well.
Oh, okay, okay. So I think with that, I think it's basically like the same thing for both Australia and then Ireland. Okay. When it comes to taxation, so in Ireland, when it comes to taxation, anything at all that you earn up to 42,000, that is for 2024, you pay 20%, and anything above 42,000 per year, you pay 40%. That's how it is. So I don't know for Australia, how does it work when it comes to taxation?
So if you earn anything from 0 to 18 thousand per year, you don't pay tax on it. Then from 18,000 up until 45,000, you pay a tax of like 18%.
Okay.
And from 45,000 up to 120,000, you pay 32%. 20,000 up to 180,000 per year, you pay 37%. And anything from 180, you pay a tax of 45%.
Okay. Okay. So I think from what you are saying, I think most of the nurses will fall between 32% of tax.
Most, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Ireland on that aspect will be a bit better than Australia.
It
That is
won't be a bit better because you get tax-free bonuses. So now I told you
it's
you pay,
true. It's true anyway.
right?
It's
So
true.
now you pay 32%. For example, let's just put example, you are paying
Yeah.
you are being paid 70,000, and
Yeah.
that bracket will be 32%, right?
Yeah.
Now you already have a tax-free of 18,000. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 18,000 minus 70,000, that will give you like 22. Then you now minus, maybe your employer is giving you a tax-free benefit of 18,000. You
Yeah.
now minus 18,000 again from that 50 something thousand. That's
Yeah.
what you are taxed 32%. So it's not
Okay.
the same.
So then the government, your employer also gives you a tax credit.
Tax credit, tax-free money, how much
No,
from your
no,
salary?
no, no,
It's not
nothing like
tax
that.
credit. Tax credit is a
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the
Mhm.
government only gives you a tax credit, and then the employer also gives you a tax credit. I know that, but with the tax-free money, no, you don't get anything like that.
Yeah, so before you're taxed that 30, maybe by the end of the day, you only be taxed 33% on maybe 40,000. So you see
Okay.
that you still get more money back.
Ah, you seen as deal. She actually came here to actually draw me
No,
to
no,
the.
if I don't represent my Australian people, where they'll fight me in the comment. Let me
No, I
represent
know
them
them.
well.
I know that the comment section. I know them already now. Okay. When it comes to cost of living, when it comes to rent, I don't know how is it in Australia.
So it depends on the states, like every other country anyway. Some
Yeah.
states are cheaper, some states are expensive. But you get like a one bedroom apartment, let's say give or take 400 to 500 Australian dollar per week. So we pay our rent per week.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how much you pay for a week. So then it depends if you want 2 bedroom, 1 3 bedroom, it
Goes
increases.
like that.
And if you want
Okay.
to house, if you want, like, it depends, and it depends on exact area where your apartment is. If it's in the main city, it's going to be more expensive. If it's in outer suburb area, it's going to be cheaper. So the housing things, it depends on lots of factors. But I think
Okay.
minimum you will see or averagely will be like 400, 500 per week.
Oh, okay, okay. So when it comes to Ireland, I think also just as Nesdio said, it depends on the county. We say county. So if you're living around a city area like Dublin, you might even get a studio apartment, like a one and then one bedroom, hall and washroom and then the kitchen and all that. You might even get over 1,000 euros, okay, or let's say
Per
a thousand
month.
five per month, and
Wait, so
then
you get a 1,000 euros per month for a studio, not a
a
one
studio
bedroom.
that's in the city, yeah. It might even be
Okay.
like 1,500, even up to that high.
So 1,500, if you divide it by 4, that would be like how much? Three something, 350,
Yeah,
370,
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay. Per week, that would be like that.
Per
So,
week, yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So when it's like 2 3 bedroom, you're looking at 2,000 to 3,500
That's so
in the city.
expensive. Oh.
That's
Even
in
the
the
UK
city. It's
housing is even
expensive now.
cheaper.
You know,
Very expensive in Ireland. It's too
it's
expensive.
it's so
It's more
expensive.
expensive than here in Australia
Oh
because
yes, I know. Yeah, yeah,
if you say you pay a studio 1.5, and
yeah.
here I'm telling you a one bedroom in a good, even in Sydney where I am, you pay
Hmm.
like 500 per week.
It's
500
so,
per week is 500 times 2 is 20, is 2,000
yeah.
2,000 Australian dollar, and then you are paying like 1,005 euros for a studio. Meanwhile, that can get you a good one bedroom or even 2 bedroom in Sydney.
So 2,000 Australian dollar in euro will be like 1,200.
Bedroom if you go a little bit outside the main city,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
30
that's true.
minutes.
Yeah. So if it's outside Dublin, you might get like 1,005 for 2 bedroom, or 1,008 for 3 bedroom, or 2,000. So it depends on where you actually
Yeah.
want it. So the city is more expensive. Okay.
Mhm.
Groceries and the rest, they are all really cool. Yeah.
Groceries a little bit expensive here. I mean, when I want to compare to UK anyways, I don't know for Ireland, but yeah, groceries are like, I spend like, family of two, me and my husband, we spend like 100, dollar per week.
Wow.
It depends on what we are buying, anyways.
Buying anyway, yeah. So in Ireland, I'll say with the groceries, like 200 euros per month. Okay, so that's
It
still
depends on
more.
what you are buying as
Yeah,
well.
it depends. It depends. If it's African food, you use more. If it's like, this Irish stuff, they are more cheaper. I know that. So
Mm-hmm.
it all depends, guys. It all depends. So I think I don't know. I think they are better than Australia. I don't know.
Yeah, for food, I think it's much cheaper in Europe. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But then it depends on what you are buying anyway and
Okay.
what you eat.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about racism. I know racism is everywhere, even in Africa ourselves and all that. It's everywhere.
Even
Um,
within Nigeria and Ghana, our jollof rice is
we are always fighting now. But
better. Yeah.
on a more serious note, have you experienced any form of discrimination since you moved there?
So to be honest, I've not.
Okay.
Um, so far, like people I've met, seen, they're all nice people, and I think it has to do with like the where you are and the people you interact with. So me, I'm a nurse. To be honest, most of the people I interact with as are nurses. Which
Yeah.
nurse want to be rude to you? You want to
Good
lose
to
your
you.
registration. So yeah, that plays a factor as well. And I do go out. I go to the bar, not like bar, but I go out to the beach where people sit and
Yeah.
drink. They're all nice people. I've not experienced any racism, and even online, most of them are nice. Just one or two few people that will be unnice to you, but people I've met, nobody has ever said go back to your country like face to face or say
Yeah.
you black girl or use all those F words on you,
Yeah.
racist word. I feel like Australia is even if you find racist people, they are quite subtle. Like probably they will ask you things like just subtle racism, and if you're not careful, you will not realize it's racism.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's just. But it will never be. I mean, I'm not saying for all everybody's experience, but my own experience, I've never experienced any direct racism. It's not a thing here.
Okay.
Even the patients, so they're all very nice. Yeah.
Okay, I think in Ireland they are generally nice people as well, but I think
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced like few occasions they are not really straightforward. As you said, they'll just say like nigger. When someone says nigger, I thought
That's straightforward.
yeah,
Oh, you
like
want somebody
if
to
someone
get
if
mud.
someone tells me nigger, me I thought like what's up? I didn't know at first. I was
No,
like
no, no,
nigger,
no.
what's up?
Nigga is actually a very straightforward
I
racism. It's
didn't
not
know.
subtle.
I didn't know from the beginning. And my friend was
You
like,
need,
okay, that's a racist comment. Okay,
no, that's
so
pure. Like when you say
that's
subtle, so when you say subtle racism, I want to give you an example. Something like, um, I don't know exact what to, but something like, do you have do you have proper hospitals in your country? Like
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that, or
those
they'll
those
ask you like
those stuff. Yeah,
those
yeah,
ones are subtle because to be
yeah.
honest, they know with
They
some
know.
of them, not all, most of them are just curious, but most of them know that the healthcare system is better here, money is better, life is, but
Yeah,
they'll try to ask you questions to just feel
to
like, so do people have schools in Africa?
yeah,
Did you school?
yeah,
Oh, your
yeah.
English is very good. Those are
Thank
subtle
you.
racism.
Someone will
But
ask me, "Did
but if
you
they call you
school in
nigga, oh,
Ireland?"
that's not so. That's
Yeah,
actually a blunt. No,
yeah.
I've
And
never
then they ask
experienced that.
me,
To be
"Did you
honest.
school? Did you school? Let's say in Europe, your English is so good." I'm like,
Yeah,
and
like I'm like,
I probably schooled in Ghana, in Africa. I like to say that.
exactly true.
Yeah. So, but generally, I've not. I think with that, it was even. I don't want to say, but it was at the hospital setting, so that's fine. But outside, I've not really had that kind of experience. So,
Yeah.
so far, so good. Even in
And
our country, we still
there are
have it.
lots of Irish people here too. They are very nice people.
Yeah,
Irish,
they are
I think
generally
in
nice.
general, Irish people are
Yeah,
very nice. British people
generally
are
very
very
nice.
nice as well.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
people that are not nice, they're not British, they're not Irish, they're not Australian. They're just
Okay. So, apart from Australia, my last question: which other country would you want to move to if
um.
you should leave Australia?
If I was to leave, two countries in my mind:
Okay.
Switzerland or New Zealand. These two countries in my land: Switzerland or New Zealand.
Okay, guys. So, with me, with all that has been said, okay, my first option, okay, is actually going to be Iceland. And then my
Yeah,
second
I love
country is going to
Iceland.
be
Yeah.
Australia. Because
I
yes,
love Iceland as well, but I think one thing I don't know if I can cope is the weather. It's
the
very cold.
weather, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I
But now
love Iceland.
I just love Australia. I just have to be fair. I think Australia won. Let me know in the comment section what you actually think. Okay. If you
Yeah.
have any other, just add it up for us. If you have any other question, hit it down there. Nezio is actually going to come up and then answer you. If I have any question, I'll also do that as well. Most importantly, remember to share this video. Also hit the like. Okay, I'm actually going to post it on Facebook. Just search Nesmomo on Facebook. I'm trying to build my Facebook followers, so please remember to like as well. And also Nesdio on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on YouTube. I'm actually going to leave a link again under this video. Thank you so much for always coming through, for encouraging me, and for watching my videos. And thank you, my sister Nesdio, always being there, encouraging me, even though we are both very busy. One way or the other, you always do your best to still encourage me. I appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you so
I
much.
love you.
That's right.
Okay, guys, bye.